Good morning, traders. Welcome to today's market review. This is Fred Razak at CMTrading. Today is November 17, 2021, and today is Wednesday morning. So looking at the highlights of the day, the euro continues to tumble, trading at 113. But first, looking at the major economic events of the day, scheduled for this morning at 9 p.m. South African time out of Great Britain, we have a yearly CPI number coming out. That's a very important inflation number coming out for Great Britain. Now, looking at the various markets, starting out with the Forex symbols, as we mentioned, the euro continues to tumble. While we're looking at the major pairs, pretty much unchanged. As we look in the indices, the Dow Jones drifts yesterday and the NASDAQ trades slightly higher. Now, looking at commodities, gold and oil retrace slightly, but they do retrace. Now, looking at the stocks, Microsoft secretly and quietly trades new record highs despite this environment that we're in right now. And lastly, looking at cryptocurrencies, Bitcoin trades below 60K. So let's take a look at the markets and see what we can expect from today's trading. So here we go. We're looking at a weekly chart first of the Euro USD. You could see this break down 113-ish level. It's over 250 pips break down since we hit this 115.67, and you can see that is a bona fide sell-off. Now we are at somewhat of an area of support still, so this is still an area of support, so we may get that bounce at 113, which means that, you know, we could maybe go up to this 113.60, 70-ish if that bounce does get. But if it's a dead cat bounce, we could see ourselves selling off even further. Now, looking at the other majors, not much doing. Okay, GBP pretty much trading sideways, and the the Aussie USD also trading just sideways here in anticipation to these numbers coming up. Now, this is the type of environment that we're in. But what's very important here is that when you see one currency falling apart versus a base currency, here we're looking at the USD versus the euro, or vis-a-vis the GBP versus the dollar, or the Aussie versus the dollar, shows some real weakness in the euro right now. So that's very important to note, because that really requires us to take action in terms of seeing how weak it is to anticipate further weakness. Now, looking at commodities, looking first at gold, retracing just a bit from our high of 1865 down to 1855. Not much of a retracement, but a retracement nonetheless. Now, looking at oil, also retracing to $80 a barrel, but again, nothing major to really write home about. Okay, we're really just trading sideways for all intents and purposes. Now, jumping into the US big board, all right, we're looking at the Dow Jones really just trading sideways. Okay, not much doing here. Okay, we got that bounce, not that high of a bounce as we've anticipated, maybe to 36,200-ish level, but we did get that bounce and we're above 36,000. So I believe we're going to trade sideways for some time, okay, until there's going to catalyst to sell us off. Now, looking at the NASDAQ, a little bit stronger here at 16,293. And that's really reflective of Microsoft hitting new highs. Now, looking at the individual stocks, Microsoft hitting new highs yesterday at 339, pushing that higher. But look, we're on smaller volume. Okay, the volume is decreasing as we're making new highs. That's not encouraging. Okay, that's something, yes, we are making new highs, so it's something to take note of, but we're not doing it with much higher volume. So we might not see that follow through that we may anticipate. Now, looking at JP Morgan trading down, still trading downwards. Okay, so that's something to consider. Some of the others really just trading sideways. Apple, Facebook just trading sideways. So really not much direction there. Lastly, looking at Tesla, we did get that soft landing at 900. Okay, right below 1,000. We did bounce above it, but I think we're going to be challenging here, and we're going to have a hard time sustaining this. I think we could still sell off a little bit. Maybe we've hit a short-term bottom for now, okay, but that's something to consider going into today and next week. Now, lastly, looking at Bitcoin, finally breaking that 60K. Okay, why I say finally is because we did breach two levels here. Okay, we breached that moving average, the 30-day moving average, and then we breached that 63,000. That was pretty much a tip-off point where we continued to sell off. Now, are we still in supportish area? Yes. Okay, so just because it's not 60K and it's 59K doesn't mean that it's going to, sell off to $44,000, right? So keep that in mind, okay, because we are still in an area where you could pretty much call support, okay? The support is not just one number, okay? It's an area. okay? And this is the area we're currently in. So this has been 1, 2, and this is the third place where we've kind of hit the landing here. So we may anticipate a nice bounce here, and the anticipation is going to go higher. So keep that in mind later today. This is Fred Razak. I want to wish you guys a great trading day. Thank you.